Right above Harambe was Damn Daniel, and I wish I had known you when that was big, because I would have driven you bonkers with that.
Don't worry, everybody else
I'm sure they did.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Tether Radio Podcast, the only podcast keeping you from spiraling out into the infinite abyss. I'm your host, Daniel, and I'm joined, as always, by Miss Allie.
What up?
Is your mic?
Is it on?
Yeah, it is.
Am I on?
I'm showing waves. I need to take this off, my headset off, because I forgot that yours isn't piping through my headset.
Right, yeah, that would mess you up.
But we are definitely recording, so.
This is solid radio right here. This is good podcast quality content.
Honestly, it made me think of last podcast. Are we recording yet?
Man, I just started re-listening to their Henry Lee Lucas 4-parter. It's so good, but there's a thing on Netflix, The Confession Killer, and my friend Sarah was watching it, and a few people have been telling me it's really good.
Yeah.
And Sarah, like, earlier this week, she was like, have you ever heard of Henry Lee Lucas? I was like, what do you think, I'm new? Yeah, I know Henry Lee Lucas.
My first rodeo.
Yeah. So I, started re-listening to that, and it starts on episode 182, so it's old.
Dude, Megan and I started re-listening to Henry Lee Lucas, Leonard Lake and Charles Ng.
Leonard Lake.
Oh my God. I was having trouble keeping the car on the road. His Charles Ng impressions are just so funny.
Well, the Henry Lee Lucas, at the very start of the first one, they start recording, and Henry's doing this, mentally challenged voice.
Yeah.
And they're using the R word, and they're like, we're going to get in trouble for using this word. And they're like, are we recording? Is this going to be the start of this episode?
Well, dude, that's what's kind of funny is, listening to the earlier episodes, they kind of police themselves.
A little bit.
A little bit less than now. Because, dude, which is completely understandable.
Yeah.
Dude, it's different when you got 1,000 people that you're reaching out to and 1 million people, or whatever their
who knows how
status
many
is at this point.
Yeah.
But, so this is the first episode of Tether after Christmas. How was your Christmas?
Man, it was pretty good. How was yours?
It was good. It was. I got to live vicariously through my son and enjoy Christmas like a 2-year-old.
Man, it's his first Christmas, getting it.
Yeah,
so that's cool.
Exactly.
That's cool.
While my mom fed me coffee that had what was that stuff called? It was this mocha chocolate coconut liqueur.
Oh.
Dude.
What? I need that.
We were putting it in our coffee.
Yeah.
And oh my God, it was good.
Man, my boss at work
makes...
Bomb Bomb?
I think it's called Bomb Bomb. Totally. Yeah, I know, right?
My boss at work brings in stuff to make Millionaire's coffee sometimes. You ever had that?
No, what is
It's
that?
3 different liqueurs like that you make a shot worth out of the 3 mix, and then you just dump that into your hot coffee.
Dude.
And top it with whipped cream.
Oh. Man, we had Irish coffees when we were waiting to go through the Jameson distillery in Ireland. It was some of the best stuff.
Well, in Ireland, sure, yeah, of course.
And oh my God, I don't know if I ever told you this. Okay, I promise we will get to the show eventually. Also, when we were in Ireland, we had really bad weather this one day, which was surprising because I was expecting pretty shitty weather the majority of the time.
Yeah, I would think so, yeah.
But we actually had some pretty weather a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But that one day we decided to just whatever, let's see, we don't want to be walking around touristy stuff in the rain.
Yeah.
Or downpour style rain.
Yeah.
So Megan found a chocolate factory that was 3 miles from the bed and breakfast that we were staying at. Oh my God. They we got to tour the place. Yeah. We got to sample all of this stuff, and I think it was $20 or $30 a pop.
Totally worth it.
Completely worth it. And then at the end, we got a hot chocolate that was literally made from whole milk and melted chocolate.
Oh my God!
It was
you need a fork,
dude. It was insane. I took a sip and you get jittery because it's so effing good. Oh my God. It was crazy.
Oh, that sounds so good.
Anywho, we do need to preface this episode with the fact that we are going to be going through lists upon lists upon lists.
With plenty of commentary.
And honestly, I'm really looking forward to it because I hadn't thought about a bunch of these movies and books and like TV shows and all this stuff.
I'm pretty excited about the TV shows because even though I don't watch much TV, I really like a lot of the shows that made it to that specific list. Yeah, so I think it's a good list.
Yeah, for sure.
Either that or I made the list in my sleep at some point. I don't know.
Yeah. But, and then we're going to sprinkle in a couple little articles here and there that also want to preface, there is no connection to anything.
Nope.
It was basically like a wheel was spun and we closed our eyes and pointed to a segment of it. So.
If this were a Jeopardy category, it would be potpourri.
There you go. Exactly. All right. Well, so how do we want to start this out? What are you thinking?
Man, I'm gonna dive into this. The only piece of news that I have for this week's news.
Let's do it.
My favorite headline of the week: Trent Reznor calls scoring Bird Box a quote fucking waste of time. Unquote. Yeah. He scraps The Woman in the Window score. Okay, I love this because, I mean, mostly because this headline has a swear in it. Yeah. But it's Pitchfork, so of course it does.
Yeah.
But, Trent Reznor's insane, but man, he makes good music, and especially movie scores.
Dude, his last album, was supposed to be really good.
I didn't listen to it, but really? Anytime I find out he's done a score to a movie, I'm like, oh, of course that was him. You know?
Yeah.
But Bird Box, the book, I loved, and, barely anyone read, and a lot of people watched the movie, and they were like, this movie kind of sucked. And I'm like, okay, the movie was kind of, it was okay. Yeah. The book was damn good.
See, I would fall under that category that I was like, man, it was a lot. It was drummed up to be much more than I thought it was.
Yeah.
And so I would be down for circling back around and checking the book out.
The book's really short. It's super intense. It fucked me up to read that book.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's a good, intro to horror, maybe, for people that don't even like stuff like that. Because it was just that, intense, that anxiety, in The Shining, where you're just stressed all the time about what might happen. That was Bird Box. Oh, wow. And then the movie, I watched the whole movie physically tensed up, and at the end I was like, okay, so nothing really happened then, huh?
Yeah it was almost like it. Well, and you know what the worst part is about all of that?
Sandra Bullock being cast as a woman who's supposed to be 23, but okay.
Yeah, that's a starting point.
That's
for
part
sure.
of it, sure.
But that is just such a problem with horror movies in general. Man. It's none of them can rap well.
I think they did a pretty good job with the movie. Yeah. But that book was so good. It was hard to compare to.
Yeah.
But I also really like this headline because The Woman in the Window sucks.
I have never heard. Obviously, I saw Bird Box.
You've seen the cover. You've seen the cover of this book, and it's going to be a movie. And I hate that it's going to be a movie because the book was so bad. And then after I read the book, this whole thing came out that the author is just a huge piece of shit.
Oh, really?
And I know I say that about people all the time, but there are a lot of garbage people.
Yeah.
So I was looking this morning about why he's a piece of shit, because I couldn't remember. His name's AJ Finn. Uh-huh. Well, that's his pseudonym. Uh-huh. If you Google AJ Finn, just AJ Finn, there's a New Yorker piece that comes up that's really interesting and a pretty good deep dive.
Yeah.
He basically just makes up stories about himself, just completely fabricated. I grew up with a single mom. He didn't. Yeah. He had both his parents.
He's just basically playing imaginary as an adult.
Dude, and he comes out with all this stuff, and he also, has all these braggy things that are not true. He's oh yeah, this major book, it got published because of my recommendation. And it didn't. It didn't. Yeah. He's just a garbage person. Yeah. And the book sucked.
Jesus.
Man, I'll stand behind.
Got nothing going.
I'll stand behind musicians that get canceled and I still like their old music. Yeah. And I was watching Bad Santa and saw that Weinstein was part of that. And, like, I still love Bad Santa, you know? But, like, but this book sucked hard on its own.
Yeah.
And then the author's garbage.
Dude, and that's, honestly, that's why I always hate when literally any entertainers get political and stuff.
Yeah.
It's because it's just kind of like, you know, I mean, yes, you have the soapbox and everybody's paying attention to you, but just because you're famous, your opinion doesn't matter any more than anyone else's. So, or at least that's my take.
No, I get that. I get that.
But anyway, so some of these quotes... Yeah. Are you going to get into any of the quotes for this art, like what he said?
The waste of time thing? Yeah. Okay, so yeah, he God, I loved this one quote. I actually read it to a couple friends last night. So basically he got mixed up in the score of Bird Box, and he said it felt like some people were phoning it in, and the final icing, this is quotes here. The final icing on the shit cake was we were on tour when they mixed it, and they mixed the music so low you couldn't hear it anyway. So it was like that was a fucking waste of time. And then we thought no one's gonna see this fucking movie, and of course it's the hugest movie ever in Netflix.
Oh my god, that's
but
amazing.
Man, I can't recommend enough. Mm-hmm. Do not waste your time on The Woman in the Window book, or the movie's gonna be so dull. The book was dull, the movie's gonna be dull.
Yeah, dude. No, and you can't make you can't make something tasty out of doo-doo. So it's kind of like
on this shit cake.
Yeah, on this shit cake, man. Because it's one of those things that if in the ingredients all the ingredients are poo-poo, you're gonna end up with the poo-poo pie, man. So
yeah.
But
oh man.
All right. Well, so speaking of movies, let's if it's cool, let's hop into we're starting basically the AV Club is the spine of this. Some good lists. For my part, at least.
Yeah, good listicles, I should say.
Listicles, exactly. So. Let me get to wrong AV Club article. Here we go. So these are the 100 or parts of the 100 best movies of the 2010s.
Yeah.
I didn't really understand the order of them because I did not agree really. It was weird. Like I
have a hard time making top lists of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I can give you my top however-ish many of something, but I don't want to rank them.
No, and I'm with you. And honestly, I normally will just say, I will say if I'm listening to an album that, I absolutely love, I'd be like, man, this would make my top 25.
Sure. But can I give you my 25 in order? No. Yeah, exactly. I don't know if this is 14. I'm not sure.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So what I did is I went through this list and I basically pulled off everything that I had seen and was just kind of be like, oh, well,
I'm also not sure how they came up with these best of the decades lists.
Yeah.
Did you see how?
No.
I think they may have just got their writers together and just kind of talked it through.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they went by sales or critical acclaim
which is why I actually also hopped over to Rotten Tomatoes and got I think theirs were actually top for 2019.
Okay.
And then I hopped on IMDb and got highest rated
for
nice. 2019.
Good solid research there. Good not research, work. Good work.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. But yeah, so we'll start with the 2010s top movies according to the AV Club. Bridesmaids made 96, and if you have
I would put it higher. I would put it a lot higher.
Completely, because that movie, in my opinion, normalized crude women.
Yeah.
And I think that crude women are hilarious.
Well, thank you.
That's why I'm such good friends with Allie. No. But no, it's so funny because what it did, in my opinion, was explore the fact that, dude, women aren't sitting around in dresses curtsying all the fucking time.
Yeah.
That's the reality, you know.
Some of them are, and I'm not friends with those.
yeah, but amazing.
Yeah.
Something that Allie can kind of comment on, I don't know if you've seen the movie, but Gone Girl made number 83.
Yeah, and I'm a big fan of Gone Girl.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, the movie was actually really good.
The movie was really good. Yeah.
Yeah. That was Ben Affleck, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure, because I got that, and let me make sure it's not higher up here. The Girl on the Train.
I didn't see the movie. I read the book. It was pretty good.
Didn't see the movie. I think Megan watched the movie. Yeah. But it did not make the list.
The book was fine, but I wouldn't I wouldn't tell someone put that book down, but like I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah.
Like there's better books in that sort of genre. Like I would way recommend Gone Girl over Girl on a Train.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. For sure. So something that's kind of near and dear to my heart, I feel like the past couple years have been the years of cults. Cult movies.
Lots of cult stuff.
And Hereditary made it up to number 80. Which...
Man, I saw somebody in one of my weird Facebook groups I'm in say that Hereditary was the best movie of the decade.
I don't know if I would agree with that necessarily, but
sure.
Damn if it would
people have crazy opinions.
Well, and this is
it's up there.
Yeah. It would 100% be up there because when a horror movie can literally not only surprise you multiple times over the course of it, but rap well. Yeah. I'm like, oh my God.
Man, I really need to give up and watch that.
Yeah, it's true. So, full disclosure, I sent it home with Allie. Her and her husband sat on it for about, I don't know, a month.
Yeah.
And then it just got returned unwatched. So.
I'm the worst about watching movies, man.
Yeah, no, I know.
And he's good about it, but like, if he doesn't want to watch a movie, that's that.
Yeah.
And he had no interest in Hereditary, and I'm kind of a chicken, so...
Dude, it's kind of intense.
Also, that was around Halloween, and I was kind of like spookying myself out. Like I was into so many horror things right then. So but yeah, that'll be a good, maybe I'll do that sometime soon.
Okay, so going a little bit, I'm gonna skip a couple of these. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse made number 64, and
I've heard it's huge.
It was. We actually just rewatched it over the holidays, and it's also one of those movies that like it's completely new, like art style, and just like the writing was fantastic with it, and just it is mind-boggling. Like the art direction in that it's a
cartoon, right?
Yeah,
okay, yeah.
But it's like
I think that's awesome to have a cartoon that's on this best of the decades list.
Well,
you know.
So have you ever heard of cell shading in regards to animation?
Maybe.
So basically, it's almost like this super saturated. I'm trying to think of how to describe it, but there's like hard borders,
okay,
and there's like high saturation on like the actual coloring and stuff. And I mean, they did a really good job with it. In addition to like frame rates in it were like a little bit slower than 24, which for all the movie people out there, if you once you hit 24 frames a second, to the human eye, it looks like a fluid movement.
Okay.
And so I think they shot a little bit lower than that, so it's like got a little bit of chop to it, but it's not annoying. Yeah. It was weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, highly recommend that shit. Even though I wasn't that big of, and moving on to the next one, even though I wasn't that big of a fan of this movie, I completely agree with it being on this list. Inception.
Man, I loved Inception.
Really?
I did. I've watched it twice maybe, and I really like
super cool concept.
Well, and I also think it's so detailed that probably every time you'll watch it, you'll be like, I never picked up on this before. Like, I think it's one of those that I almost feel like I should be taking notes while I watch it.
Yeah, which, you know, now that I think about it, and I might have just, I don't know. I thought Looper came out this decade, but I could be wrong. But that was like...
I get Looper mixed up with Jumper or something. Oh, God.
Jumper was fucking terrible.
Oh, okay, then that's not... Maybe just name-wise. Is Looper the one I like?
Looper had Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
I did like it.
Oh, my gosh. Bruce Willis.
Yeah. I really liked that.
It was kooky.
No, I could see that being like a cousin of Inception.
Yeah. So, but
less intense, like a
less
intricate.
In Inception, and that was, I think, kind of my problem with it to a degree, was just the fact that it was like
it was so much.
Well, they it's almost like they overcomplicated it because people associate complication with like intelligence, and it's like,
you want to talk about some book lists I looked at for the decade? Yeah,
the review, it doesn't even make
just
any
because
sense.
it was hard to read doesn't mean it was good.
Thank you.
Damn.
And that was kind of my
or
take,
hard to understand if it's a movie, or hard to
yeah.
just to grasp the concept,
because it was there was like one part during that it was like whatever they were doing, like they had to go like multiple levels into subconsciousness, and I mean it was pretty neat, but it was kind of like, oh my god, you need a kick for a kick for a kick for a kick,
and
I was like, I'm
like, how many kicks deep are we?
Seriously, I stopped tallying after 3.
Man,
so.
it got to be too much. But Inception also,
it was good though.
It was really
and it
good.
Deserves a place on this list for sure.
And it spawned a lot of like, you can still make an Inception joke.
Yes.
And you will run into an Inception joke like once a month or something still, you know?
Oh, it became its own meme.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll cruise a little bit quicker. One that I wanted to mention that I have not seen, but I've heard only good things, Parasite. And this was
I've heard good things about that. That's pretty new.
I believe it was, I think it was out of Korea.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So.
That sounds right.
But it has gotten insane reviews.
Yeah.
It was on this list, it made number 52.
Yeah.
It also was like top 5 on like a lot of 2019
But it's
lists.
probably pretty gory, right? Like it's pretty body horror, I think.
Well, so... And I can't remember if I might be getting that mixed up with there was another Asian film that was called like Interview, or no, it wasn't Interview. I can't remember exactly what it was called, but it's
a black comedy thriller. I didn't realize it was a black comedy.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, I didn't realize it was.
That's
either.
cool.
But okay, so we'll move on since I don't have that much to opine on it. It Follows made number 47.
Heard good things about that.
Yeah, it kind of had a silly ending, but I thought it did a really good job for the horror genre.
I want to just throw this in, way delayed after Bridesmaids, but I saw this in a thing I just saw on Google right now.
Yeah.
The movie Booksmart. Have you heard anything about that? I've heard a lot of people say it's really good.
Yeah, but I think I'm pretty sure it made some lists, but I hadn't seen it.
Yeah.
So
it's supposed to be like almost a female version of Superbad.
Oh, okay.
Which I love Superbad.
Oh, dude.
Love.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Superbad was phenomenal.
Yeah.
So 2 things that I really did not agree with on this list. I do like oh my god, now I'm forgetting what the director's name is, but in my opinion, he almost should have been a DJ more than a director. Wes Anderson.
Oh man,
he did some phenomenal films, but in my opinion, this decade was not his cream of the crop, and he had 2 on this list. One was at 45, Moonrise Kingdom, and then the other one was Grand Budapest Hotel.
Jesse loves Grand Budapest Hotel.
Really?
If he made a top 100 of the decade, he might put it that high.
See, and
he
maybe
keeps
I just
telling
got
me to
burned
watch
out
it. I need to watch it because I think it's absolutely. I love Wes Anderson stuff, but I've not seen all of them.
Have you seen the Royal Tenenbaums?
Yeah,
okay.
I did love that.
In my opinion, that was like
Rushmore, dude. Rushmore was
phenomenal.
So good.
These are OR scrubs. Oh, are they? Yeah. Anyway. All right. So just cruising on. Wolf of Wall Street hit number 24.
I'd put it higher than that.
I agree. Also,
it
was phenomenal.
Rarely watch movies, but God,
yeah.
God, I love Wolf of Wall Street.
And then sorry, I skipped one that I actually wanted to hit.
Yeah.
Number 37 was Whiplash, and you might not have seen it, but
I'm thinking of Whip It.
Oh, no, which was actually Whip It was really good.
I was like, but best of the decade.
So yeah, right. Whiplash was oh my gosh, I can't remember the guy's name, but he played J. Jonason or whatever in Spider-Man, and God, what is that? I can't remember the actor's name, but In my opinion, well, Whiplash should be higher than 37 because what it shows you is it shows how in order to be like the 0.1% in art, you have to sacrifice so much. And just you like the Mozarts and the whatever Beethovens and like all these composers that it's just like it almost seems like they're like tormented by the fact that they are that good and what it takes to be the best, basically.
Yeah.
But it is a phenomenal movie.
Huh.
So so cruising on, I got 2 more.
Yeah.
Social Network actually made number 3.
You know, I never got around to seeing that.
I
Trey Reznor did the score on it, though.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah. So I don't agree with this high of a listing for it, just because I didn't think it was that great of a movie.
It was probably also ahead of its time.
And I think that the main reason that it made it this high is just because it came out in literally, I believe, 2010.
I think that's right, yeah.
So this was like the start of Facebook gaining just insane popularity.
Yeah.
And showing the backstory of that.
This was when everybody's parents were like, what book?
Yeah.
And everybody's grandparents were like, internet?
Yeah.
And like now your papa is on Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
yeah,
so.
Exactly. I mean, I think they're up to like 2.5 billion users.
God.
I mean, that's like a third of the planet's, population.
Yeah.
Just insane. But,
okay, but like 3 of those are me.
yeah, right. and a few percentage points are bots. So, but last one, and I didn't agree with this one in regards to how high it made it on the list, but it did deserve a place on the list.
Okay,
Mad Max Fury Road. Did you see it?
I didn't. What was the other? Was it like a trilogy?
So I mean this one
of like the new ones they like remade
kind of thing, because they had the Road Warrior, then Mad Max, like whatever, and Enter the Thunderdome or something like that.
I think I know I saw Road Warrior and I loved it.
Yeah.
I just never got around to watching the others.
It's like a cult classic.
Yeah. But and like as I watched it, I was like, oh, of course this makes sense that it's a classic.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But yeah. So just to even though that wasn't as quick as I was hoping to go through, I wanted to say a little bit about a lot.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, so for the non-movie viewer, what are we talking about for 2010s in the book realm?
Okay. So I listen. I have looked at so many lists about the best books of the decade and the best books of the year, and then like sub lists of like the best nonfiction of the decade and the best memoirs of the decade. And I'm like, okay, this is great, but like also how many lists do we need? And a lot of them overlap. A lot of them have fucking Normal People by Sally Rooney, which I hate.
Yeah.
That book, I don't like. I feel like I just don't get it. Like, and everyone loved it. Obama put it on his favorites.
Yeah,
and I'm like, did I read the wrong book? Like, nothing happened in it, and also I didn't think the writing was like anything that impressive. There's a difference when you read a book that's just beautifully written, or like you wish you wrote things the way that person wrote, and I didn't get that out of it either. And I'm just like, what's the hype on this? I don't get it.
Yeah. So real quick, just talking about like whatever I got. Would it be called prose? Am I misspeaking?
Yeah. No, that's right. Yeah.
The book, In God We Trust, All Others Pay Cash, or something like that, or something along those lines. And it's the book that the Christmas Story is based on, or at least a story in that.
Okay.
That writer, and I don't have his name right here or anything. Absolutely, like, it is just he has some of these like little similes that are just like make me die laughing. And it's just, for instance, he's like, and I'm gonna slaughter this quote, but he's like, oh, the old man worked in obscenity like an artist might work in clay, or something like that. Oh,
and they took, I remember that quote from Christmas Story.
Phenomenal.
It's great.
It's hilarious.
And you're like, I wish I had come up with that analogy. Like, that's so good.
Ingenious. Yeah. But anyway.
But there's writers like that I'm like, I'll read anything you put out because I love how you tell things.
Yes, yeah.
So,
honestly, that's like John Krakauer for me.
Yeah.
Because I think that he's just writes this narrative that is just phenomenal.
I didn't know he had a new book out this year. Did you see that?
Oh, no. Oh, he does? I don't know.
It made that list you sent me of mental flosses, best of 2019. It was like Krakauer classics. So it was kind of like a bunch of his stuff put together into one.
I think that he just does a really good job at telling a story.
I mean, I've heard that from a lot of people. I've not read any of his stuff. I need to.
Yeah,
but
dude.
My to be read list is it's not good. I'll tell you that.
No, you summed it up.
I did. I need to tweet that too because I'm like my TBR, my to be read has become sentient and demands blood. Like it really does. Like it haunts me. It wakes me up in the middle of the night and I was like, sleep less, read more. And I'm like, I need sleep.
Yeah, no kidding.
So anyway, I looked at a ton of book lists.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them were the top 10, top 20, 50, 100. Mm-hmm. Some of them were just way too, like, I'm trying to impress people with the shit that I've read.
Yeah.
And, like, I've liked some books that are deep.
Yeah.
But just because it's deep doesn't mean it's good. Settle down.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And, like, there were a couple lists, like, I really love the website LitHub. But some of their lists were just, the whole list was just trying to impress people.
Yeah.
I'm like, who are you trying to impress? You already work at LitHub.
Yeah.
Like, whatever.
I remember I read some quote to you about somebody that was reviewing a book, and I literally read like a small paragraph, and I was like, can you translate this to me?
Yes.
Because I think that they would just had a thesaurus beside them as they were writing, and I was just like, what are you even saying?
There's I guess it's a tweet, but it's somebody like screenshotted it, so I think of it as a meme. Mm-hmm. And it says something like the flap on the book is like all these descriptors, but they're not really saying anything. Yeah. And you're like, please just tell me anything about the plot. And the book's like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, seriously.
That's what a lot of those feel like. I'm like, can you give me anything to know what this book's about? And some books you need to go into blind. Yeah. Like, someone will just tell you, hey, this is good, check it out, don't look anything up, and that's a good way to do it. Most books are not that way. If you are a book reviewer, you need to be better.
Give me an inkling as to what I'm getting into.
So after much trying and failing at making book list summaries, I just made my fucking own. And I'm gonna call this Allie's Books of Note for the 2010s.
Nice.
And they're not in order, because like I just said, I just don't, you know. I'll Be Gone in the Dark by Michelle McNamara. That's the one about the Golden State Killer. She wrote it before he got caught. And her husband, Patton Oswalt, and her research assistant, Billy Jensen, finished up writing it. Yeah. That book was so good. Like, I just felt, like, personally involved in the book, even though I didn't know much about the case before. Because the writing style makes you feel like you're part of it. And makes you feel like you're obsessing over writing this. Yeah. And there's so much detail, and it's such a well-written book. And I hate that she only got one book written before she died, because it's wonderful.
She passed away from like cancer or something.
No, it was like a drug overdose, but not on purpose. Yeah. Like I think there was a mix up with some stuff she was taking.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
So it was really sudden and unexpected. Yeah. And real sad.
Yeah. No, I actually was not that big of a fan of Patton Oswalt until you told me to listen to the Reagan Dollop episodes.
Dude.
Oh my god,
the Dollop has got me way into Patton Oswalt.
Dude, that man is one of the funniest comedians.
He's so funny.
Like, he's like a sleeper comedian.
Yeah, and he seems like a good dude.
Yeah,
or just a real dude.
Great, great stuff. But remind me the name of the title again.
I'll Be Gone in the Dark.
I want to 100%.
I would loan it to you, but mine's on my Kindle.
Yeah. Allie has. Like,
I talked that book up so much, dude.
So big into like true crime.
Yeah.
That like my parents. I'll go over to my parents and I'm like, oh my gosh, do you guys know anything about like Charles Manson? Did you know this, that, and the other? Did you know he killed people or whatever? Yeah. Talk about some other serial killer, and they're like, is everything okay, Daniel? And I'm like, yes, I'm good, I promise. But,
I would say if you could only read one true crime book, or if you want to read one to maybe see if you like true crime, start there. It's so good. Jeez, it's gonna be hard to follow because it's so good that the next book you read, you'd be like, this isn't that book.
Yeah. Yeah, seriously.
My next one is Gone Girl. Which
damn.
I don't want to say it's one of my favorite books ever or anything. And I'm not saying it's a masterpiece, but it just set this huge trend of domestic thrillers and unreliable narrators and big ass plot twists. And
that's really funny because now that you mention it, it did start with that.
Yeah.
And like you said, and you summed it up really well, domestic
thrillers.
Domestic thrillers.
So very relationships gone wrong, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And those books are great and they're huge and they do really well and there's a ton of them. So if you like Gone Girl, if you just Google books like Gone Girl, you're set. Like there's so many.
Yeah.
And most of them are good.
Yeah.
And Gone Girl wasn't the first to do any of this stuff, but it was the first to really explode.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know
almost like popularize it kind of thing.
And like I read it and I hated it.
Yeah.
And no one I knew had read it.
Yeah.
And I was like, someone needs to read this fucking book. I have a lot of feelings.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then like a couple years later, everyone started reading it. So I reread it so I could discuss. I was like, you guys, I have all the thoughts. Let's talk about this damn book.
Yeah.
And then they made the movie, and then everyone was watching the movie, and the movie did a good job too.
The movie did
really
a
good
good job. I'm not super big into that genre kind of thing, but like really very well done.
Yeah.
Super thriller.
And I love a twist that you don't see coming. I mean, people probably saw some of the twists in that coming, but I love the kind of twist where you turn the page and you're like, what?
Yeah.
Like
you have to like set it down and like let it sink in and be like, oh my god, so many more things make sense now.
Yeah. And like they keep adding to it and you're like, oh, this is fucked up.
Yeah.
Tell me more about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
Go
Gone Girl
on.
was like just so influential especially about what became popular books. So I think that was really cool.
Yeah.
I read The Nightingale this year by Kristen Hanna, and it's a couple years old. It's maybe like 2015 or so. I have no idea why I read it other than like the cover's kind of pretty, and I heard a lot of people say they loved it. I was not interested in World War II. I was not interested in a romance book. It's not really romance. It's partly romance. I was not interested in historical fiction. I loved this book.
Yeah.
This is the book that I told you I cried so much a couple pages before the end that I went to pee afterwards and was like, what happened to my shirt? And that's how many tears were on my shirt. And I'm not much of a crier. I boo-hooed. Like all my feelings caught up with me at the end and it was just, it was such a good book. And if you don't like any of those things, this book is still so good.
Yeah.
This book got me to be like, hey, I want to read more about World War II. So I did. I went down a whole rabbit hole of that this summer and started reading some historical fiction and just, oh my God. And the writing is just so good.
Yeah. Yeah. There were some fantastic movies that were set in World War II for the 2010s.
Yeah. And I felt bad that this was like what got me started on that because I read like The Tattooist of Auschwitz, which was really good. Yeah. But not nearly as good as this, you know? And
Megan was saying that that's a series?
There's a sequel to it that's like kind of...
Have you read it?
No, it just came out this year, like kind of later in the year.
Gotcha.
I didn't hear a lot about it. I heard kind of mixed stuff about it, but I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah.
I kind of burnt myself out because I went down this World War II thing and I don't know.
But I kind of fall into that same category that I like my OCD kicks in.
I like binge one thing and then I'm like, that is enough.
I did that with, strangely enough, the movie The Room. That was like that absolute trash fire. And then
there's a book about that.
The Disaster Artist.
Have you read it?
And it's phenomenal.
That's on my sentient TBR list.
Yeah, seriously. But it was one of these things that like, the guy, Tommy Wiseau, who the book is about, I mean, dude, he's like a fucking alien.
Yeah.
Like, and just the things that he asked of people, and like, it was like, it's almost like watching Mark Zuckerberg drink water, like kind of thing. That it's like, you cannot be from this planet. You can't
love
be
that.
human.
You love Zuckerberg drinking water.
Really
like, if you had to pick a thing for the decade, it might be Zuckerberg drinking water.
I know, right. But no, it was. I got obsessed about that.
Yeah.
we rewatched The Room.
Yeah.
Then we watched the Disaster Artist, and then I read the Disaster Artist in like, and I mean, you know how long it takes me to get through books. I read it in a week.
Yeah.
Man. I mean, it was like, it's a quick read.
And I'm not even trying to make fun of you, but you saying I read it in a week is me saying I read it in one sitting. So yeah,
no, I will not argue that point in the least. Like Allie and my wife Megan, dude, it is insane. Like, I can't read beside Megan on a Kindle because she's clicking the buttons so fucking often that it distracts me from reading. Like, I have to like sit away from her. But yeah, dude, anyway, sorry, mad tangent.
No.
But yeah, getting hooked up on or whatever, caught up on like just like some little whatever micro thing.
Like just some like micro genre maybe we could call it.
Yeah, kind of thing. Yeah.
Recursion by Blake Crouch is so good, and it's definitely sci-fi. But I think it's also kind of a starter sci-fi. I told you about it.
Was that the one? That wasn't the one that's like written real weird.
No, that's House of Leaves.
Okay,
that's House of Leaves.
And tell me.
Well, Recursion is God, I didn't even put many notes because I think it's one of those that's better if you go in kind of blind.
Well, then, no, yeah,
but it's basically people start having false memories, and it's really like messing with people's like. It's bothering them a lot, and like, so there's a cop telling the story, and like a research scientist telling the story, and like their stories are eventually going to overlap, and it's so good, and it's definitely sci-fi enough that you're like, this book is science-y.
Yeah.
But like anytime I was thinking, okay, they're starting to lose me on the science, they would rein it back in.
Oh,
so they did a really good job of that. And this is absolutely if someone was like, I'll never read sci-fi, it's not my thing, I'll be like, okay, however, try this one. Pretty please try this one. Like, and the cover's really pretty. It's like bright yellow with
that's what I remember seeing.
Like an infinity shaped snake on it.
When I added to my Goodreads, that's what I remembered.
And the cover's really cool in person because like the snake part is like silver holographic.
Oh, nice.
And like it's cool. But man, that book is so good. That's one of those, you ever hear people say like they wish they could like experience a movie or a book or something for the first time again? That would be mine.
Yeah.
And then my very favorite book of maybe not the whole decade, but at least of this year, and way up there from a decade, is Wanderers by Chuck Wendig.
Okay.
This book is everything.
Really?
I don't even know. It's so much. So there's some people start sleepwalking and they can't be stopped, and their loved ones start following them because they're like, I can't just let him wander off.
Yeah.
And as more people start sleepwalking, like the political climate starts falling apart because everybody's like, what the fuck is this? It's some kind of plague.
Yeah.
And it's very realistic to our political climate right now. And it's so good. And he writes so well. I actually ordered a book that he wrote about writing novels. Yeah. And I'm really pumped to like dive into that because he writes stuff that you're like, I wish I had worded it that way. Yeah. You know? Yeah. And the book was 800 pages, dude, but it was it was so worth it. Really? It was so good. And every chapter, there's several different sets of characters that the plot like cycles through following. Yeah. But you can really keep them apart in your head. Like you don't have trouble with that, even though there's a lot of characters. Yeah. Each chapter starts with some sort of blurb, like a epigraph. Is that what that's called? I think that's what it's called.
You might be right. I don't know.
You know when you start a book and like Stephen King really has a lot of these. Well, he'll have like a quote from like a Shakespeare thing or something at the first of a book.
Oh, okay. I know.
I think that's an epigraph.
That would make sense.
Well, anyway,
epitaph, grave, epigraph, book.
Maybe.
I don't know.
It's something like that. But each chapter starts with something like that. Mm-hmm. And it's either a tweet or a random Reddit comment or like a news anchor saying a sentence or two. And all those are fiction, but they feel so real that I was seriously like searching these commenters' names on Twitter to see if they were real. Yeah. Like, they're so cool.
It's just like that well written.
Yeah. So like together. It feels, and it's so creepy because it feels so real. And it's just.
By the way. Yeah. Fact check. Yeah. Epigraph.
Epigraph.
That is correct. Nice.
Thank you. It's sci-fi, but it's not super sciencey. Mm-hmm. It's apocalyptic. It's dystopian. It's horror, but like not in a gory way, except maybe for like a little bit once or twice. But it's not bad. It's not bad.
So,
but it's so anxiety-inducing, and you're just like, I have to read this. I have to see what happens. Mm-hmm. Oh my god, I love this book.
That's just incredible. Like from what you've described, it sounds like an 800-page turner.
It is,
which is like so kind of crazy.
I will say the ending stretched a little long for me, but the ending was still good. Yeah. It was so good. Like I love it. Yeah, and I get so pumped when I see it come up on like somebody's like best of list of the year or something. Mm-hmm. I'm like, yes, because I don't feel like this book got the attention it deserved. Yeah, it's so fucking good.
So I've got just a random side question. Yeah. Do you find yourself gravitating to certain genres over?
Oh man, I like
because I know like you
if it's like, a plague,
apocalyptic,
dystopian, now horror, any kind of a plague, especially anything that could be a zombie thing, especially if it ends up not being zombies, but just some other weird, like, pandemic.
Like evolved disease
kind of thing. Man, I live for that. I don't know why. Like, why is that my thing? I don't know.
No, because I'm actually currently reading an Allie suggested book, and it is definitely post-apocalyptic.
Yep. Well, I was going to say, those are the ones that I was actually going to talk about, and then I've got some honorable mentions, and the first one is Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel. That's the one you're reading right now, and it's so good. It's another
it really is.
A plague and apocalyptic, but like it's so good. No, it's such a good
really
story.
Is. Yeah, and it's really interesting how she how she uses. She doesn't really use a whole lot of character names.
Yeah,
it's like they're just described, and that description just hangs with that person.
There's got to be a term for doing that in a book because Margaret Atwood did that with Oryx and Crake. Like, there's a guy who
Margaret Atwood sounds really familiar.
She wrote Handmaid's Tale.
That's fine.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of that's a cool thing. I like that.
It was super novel.
I like unnamed characters, especially when they're like narrators or something. Mm. Okay, other honorable mentions, Educated by Tara Westover. Mm-hmm. That book is a memoir, and it is one of those cases where you're like, the truth is stranger than fiction. Yeah. It's really good. Yeah. Chase Darkness with Me by Billy Jensen. Mm-hmm. He's the guy that helped finish the I'll Be Gone in the Dark book. Mm-hmm. Okay. So this one a little bit overlaps with that, but it's a whole lot about, he's a journalist, but he just starts like trying to solve crimes. Mm-hmm. And it's really cool, like, just to think of, like, there's a lot of people on social media out there, like, really trying to, like, find missing people. Yeah. Or find clues to an unsolved murder case and stuff like that. That's a cool thing. Dope Sick by Beth Macy.
Oh, yeah.
Loved that. The opioid thing. That was really good. Yeah. And then one I just finished the other day was American Prison by Shane Bauer. Mm-hmm. Did I talk about that yet? Did I tell you about that at all?
I don't think so. It doesn't sound familiar.
This guy was a journalist, and like he applied to be a guard at a prison, a for-profit prison. It was in 2014, I think, and they paid $9 an hour to be a prison guard. Like, your life is on the line, and you're getting paid peanuts.
Insane, yeah.
They did a background check technically, but like they still hired him even though he was a journalist, like a known big-time journalist. Okay. Like, what? And so he it's really cool. It's like he alternates between like his experience as a prison guard. He was just in it for 4 months, but he was like, this fucked up my personality. Like, this made me a worse person and made me treat people badly.
Oh, weird.
Like, him and his wife had a lot of troubles because, like, it was changing him.
Well, I mean,
of course it would. Of course it would.
You would have to. Yeah. I actually have an aunt that she did education, prison education stuff. And so she would go in and, like, help prisoners get their, like, GEDs and stuff like that. Yeah. So,
see, I think that honestly, could be a little less dark than being a guard because... A guard is very power struggle, very, you know, like asserting dominance and stuff.
Oh yeah. Well, what it makes me think of is like, honestly, well, this is probably a terrible analogy, but like TSA agents almost. Yeah. That it's like
you're just on that power trip,
power trip, and like constantly kind of thing.
Yeah. But or cops that like live by the Punisher thing.
Well,
like,
yeah,
dude.
cops that got into it for the
Yes.
100% the fucking wrong
Yes.
reason.
Yes.
Not to bring
Cops that-
civility
yeah.
to the world, but
Yeah.
just to like have a gun and fucking be able to like beat somebody legally or something. Well, not legally, but
well,
you know what
basically,
I mean.
you're gonna get away with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and he like alternates between his personal stories that he got while he was there and the history of for-profit prisons.
Gotcha.
Which like goes back to slavery, and basically once slavery was abolished, how they were like, you can still make prisoners work for nothing.
Jeez.
And like that's still going on, and it's just nuts.
That is just crazy.
It was such a good, I feel like it's an important book. And it was a good, like I listened to it on audio, so like obviously that was pretty easy, but like it was an easy read, and I was talking about how good it was, and it just got better as it kept going too. So it was real good.
Super interesting.
It was real good. Yeah.
And that's nonfiction.
Yeah, that was
Correct.
that was nonfiction. So it was completely, and he had like a pen that recorded audio, so he was recording audio all day long and then like dumping it at night onto his like hard drive.
Yeah.
So he has for real like quotes and really good detailed notes about stuff that happened.
Insane, man.
It's so good.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. He wrote a story about it for Mother Jones, and it's the most read article ever on Mother Jones.
Oh wow.
Ever.
That's insane.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
So yeah.
All right. Well, rock and roll. Let's see. Where do we want to head from here?
I've got a short one.
Sure. Yeah, let's do that.
I found a thing on some of the words that dawned in the 2010s.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a lot that are just dumb, but but a lot of these are really political, and sorry, that's how I am.
No, dude, hey.
But yeah, so these are just kind of my highlights from that. Binge watching and hate watching.
Hate. Oh my god. Oh, well, we'll get into this on TV shows.
Yeah,
because I had some honorable mentions.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, go, please. Resume.
The alt-right.
Yeah.
Manspreading.
Yes. You remember that chair that came out that somebody developed that it literally was a chair to not allow people to not allow men to manspread.
But like
it forced their knees together.
But manspreading is more a problem when you're like on like a seating like a pew type thing.
Yeah, like public transportation.
Like if you're in your own seat, I don't really care how you sit.
It was honestly, it was just really funny because it like this big article came out about it, and then like literally the shop closed down because they couldn't
like,
sell enough.
Because this isn't helping anything.
And plus that everybody was like, well, you can just turn the chair around and like. Anyway, but it was funny.
Yeah. Deep fake, which I think is going to continue to be a big thing, and we're going to hear more about.
Huge for 2020.
Yeah,
man.
I think it's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Snowflake, obviously not the word, but the slang term.
Yeah.
Virtue signaling, which I think was a lot of those book lists that I read were very like, look at me.
Yeah.
I am good at reading fancy shit.
Yeah.
And woke.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The term, not the word's not invented, but the new thing for it.
Well, honestly, a lot of like redefining of words, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, and not. Well, I guess additional definitions. How about that?
Yeah.
You
yeah,
know?
I can see that.
But because there was something else that I can't think of it. If I can think of it. Well, I don't know. Are you?
Yeah, that's it. That's all I've got for those lists for the words.
Yeah, no, but honestly, I mean, I think that it's been really interesting to see how our language, literally, not to whatever get too far out there, but like how it's evolved to the point to where
there's a book that came out this year called Because Internet.
Yeah,
and it's talking about talking in emojis and the slang and how. And I need to read it.
Like,
I need to read it.
The shorthand text messaging stuff. That it's like sometimes there are responses on Reddit or Twitter or something like that I don't understand what they're saying because there's so many abbreviations and like.
But think of how many we know that we use, or like sometimes I'll use one and be like, I don't know if this person will know that one. They do. They always do.
Oh yeah. Yeah, seriously. And occasionally I'll get like a text from my parents that's like, what's this mean? I'm like, all right.
You do have the Google on your phone, Dad.
Yeah. No, dude, you should have seen. Dad was trying to look up Joe Burrow, who plays for LSU. He's their quarterback. He was trying to look up his age.
Yeah.
And he was like, Siri, what day was Joe Burrow born on? I don't know Joe Burrow's birthday. I don't know this. I don't know. And I'm like, literally type in Joe Burrow age on Google. Yeah. It auto completes and gives me the answer. And I'm like, come on, Pops. Get with it. But, well, so since that's kind of, I'll tell you what. Let's cruise into the top 10 video games that defined the 2010s. Yeah. And I promise I'll be quick.
No, I don't. I mean, you let me go on about books. You can totally. People care about video games.
About books.
Well, yeah, but like everyone other than me plays video games. So
well, they were just going through this list, which I'll go through quickly, just in case we don't have that many gamer listeners. It was. I felt since it was a decade, I didn't do like best of 2019 or anything, but since it was a decade long thing, and this list was actually really good. And I pulled it from the Next Web. So obviously this is like whatever their take on it kind of thing, but I actually agree with a substantial number of them. The Dark Souls games, literally. They redefined like action RPG kind of stuff. Yeah. And in my opinion, like video games started getting really hand-holdy. Yeah. And like kind of boring because there wasn't that much of a difficulty. Yeah. And Dark Souls fucking like raised it to the point of like, you want to hear about like rage quitting video games? Like just look up Dark Souls.
Man.
Like,
I don't think that's the game I'm thinking of. Jesse played this game where you're this dude and you... Oh my god, this is
I can't wait for this description.
This is gonna... I'm gonna sound like the oldest person trying to describe this. You're this guy and I think you try to like absorb people's souls and that's how... And it's like very like urban and you're very jumpy like Spider-Man. Like you can climb really quick. And you can...
Oh, weird.
Fuck, what
It's not
game
Bloodborne,
is
it?
No.
I was trying to think. It's not Skyrim.
He's played a lot of Skyrim, but I don't think this is
Skyrim. Skyrim is on the list. Yeah. But I'll let you think, or if you want to text him.
I'll text him. I'll see if he...
we'll see if he'll know
from my description.
But yeah, so the Dark Souls series literally created its own genre and its own comparison as a Souls-like game. I had a lot of games come out, Neo, Salt and Sanctuary, Dead Cells, and I think, came out this year, Jedi Fallen Order. All of these would be considered Souls-like because they're incredibly rewarding to beat, but incredibly frustrating as you're attempting to beat it. So, moving a little bit further down the list, Minecraft. Dude, so I'm actually going to spend a little bit of time on Minecraft because I started looking up like the craziest shit that people have built in Minecraft. Holy moly.
Yeah.
So basically, someone rebuilt the entire King's Landing from Game of Thrones. Like that entire area. It's
I'm just
insane.
like, for what? Like, what is...
Dude,
I mean, I totally have your hobbies and go at it, but also, like, how much time did you spend on this? And for
insane.
what?
Yeah, because I have spent a shit ton of time playing Minecraft. With with one of my buddies. Yeah. Probably about... I was pretty big into it about 2012, something like that. And one of the reasons was because... It takes nothing to run on a PC. Yeah. And we could play and create our own whatever shit. But like, dude.
I don't get the point. Is there a point?
Yeah, so really in what I considered it is literally all ages virtual Lego set.
I was gonna say, is it basically like a
that's
which
what
is fine.
Is. Yeah, but the cool thing about it is it's like you have to if you play in survival mode versus creative mode, you have to actually get all the blocks.
Okay.
So it's almost like having to earn the Lego pieces to build something, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it is insane. I remember, God, I remember literally being on my computer for like 6 hours straight, kind of thing, and like hanging out with my buddy Treston, and like we'd get up and like meet online at like 8.
Yeah.
And then we'd play until like noon or something, sign off, grab some lunch, get back on, play until like 4 or 5, at night. And it was just one of these things that it was really fun just saying, oh, let's try to build this.
Yeah.
Let's try to do this.
Man, I feel like I can relate to that because I played the hell out of some Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's
dude, and
a vague concept similarity there.
We built a roller coaster in our little world or whatever, but I just have some absolutely hilarious, real quick anecdote about Minecraft. So we built this big city and everything, I say city, more of a town. But Treston got on there, and I'd leave my computer on since I was hosting it. And he built this, like, awesome mansion for us or whatever. And he's like, oh, this is your room. You could do this, that, and the blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, cool. Well, then I sign on later on. I'm, like, drunk as piss. And I, like, am fucking around with lava and dump it by accident in our house. And it just, like, everything catches on fire. And the only thing that I could think to do was just turn off my, like, log out. Well, what it does is it brings you back in exactly where you logged off. So I call my buddy Treston the next day, and I'm like, I'm so sorry, dude. Like,
I burned our beautiful mansion down.
Our beautiful mansion is no more. But he was like, so, okay.
Why did you have lava in the mansion?
He was like, all right, this is what I need you to do. I need you to tell me exactly what the status is inside or whatever. So we both log back in, and he's like, oh God. And he's like, get water. And somehow like saved our place or whatever. It was the funniest shit ever though. It was hilarious.
I love that.
But dude, somebody built a working computer with RAM inside of Minecraft.
Like what?
I mean, like, okay, for instance, so it says occasionally a super genius will use redstone, which is like this stuff to actually build little like simple machines.
Okay.
So they use redstone to create logic gates, essentially the electric signal moderators that power actual computers. A few players have created working computers inside Minecraft that do simple math. This one can load 16 lines of code into, quote, RAM or memory, perform division and display hexadecimal notation. It may not look pretty, but it's a mind-boggling feat of computer science.
Wow.
And they've got a video on YouTube, and we'll post this in show notes and stuff, but like, just absolutely insane. Like, but I mean, I agree with you. Am I going to spend 1,000 hours figuring out how to build a computer inside Minecraft?
And you're some kind of like genius. Yeah. Like, do something productive with that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I agree, but I do have to say it's kind of insane.
It is insane. It's cool.
Shit. Last thing that I wanted to mention, and I didn't know this by name, but have you seen the Lord of the Rings series?
Yeah.
The movies?
Yeah.
Okay, so the last place that they are basically battling at the bottom of, it's called like Minas Tirith, and it's from the Lord of the Rings, dude.
For fuck's sake.
It is in fucking insane.
Wow.
Like, I can't even imagine how to even start, and like, anyway.
Wow.
So that's my Minecraft soapbox. It was just it's crazy.
Minecraft's huge.
Yeah.
I mean,
and well, the thing is, dude, this thing came out like early 2010, I think, or I think early 2010.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's still here and it's still huge.
Oh yeah.
Which is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
But real quick shout out to Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim. This redefined the open world RPG, and like literally everybody measures their game to that kind of thing. It's insane. Hell, I was talking to Allie's husband before the show, and he was like, "Oh, dude, I've got 500 plus hours in Skyrim."
Yeah,
like just insane. Grand Theft Auto 5. Grand Theft Auto 5 was just, I mean, even the original, or I'm sorry, the Grand Theft Auto 3 that came out on PS2.
I think of that as the original.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's not, but like in my head it is.
Well, so that was the first 3D of the Grand Theft Auto.
And that's the first one I played, so to me it's the first one.
Yeah, exactly. Because the first two were like, you know, but like, oh my god, it was just, this one redefined it, and it's still redefining gaming. With their online services and stuff. Telltale's Walking Dead made the list. This is another one of those, well, actually, this is a good example of cell shading.
Oh, okay.
That kind of art.
Oh,
which obviously this makes for bad radio, but if you've seen the Walking Dead video game, that's cell shading, and I really, really like that art.
It's cool.
But they basically started the narrative, but like gameplay also, like, choose your own adventure, almost like gaming kind of thing. So super huge. And then one last shout out, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. The Battle Royale craze literally begun with this, and it's just, I mean, it's huge these days. Like Fortnite Battle Royale. What was the H1Z1? There was another Apex Legends, like all this stuff. It literally these are iterations, in my opinion, of PUBG. So,
what was that crazy space game?
Mass Effect, maybe?
No, it was pretty newer.
Destiny?
No,
because that was actually going to be a mention for me, for the sole reason that, like, Destiny, even though it's not a proper MMO RPG kind of style thing, a lot of people compared it to Warcraft or World of Warcraft. I mean, it's not an accurate comparison in my opinion. But what it did is it took this massive online game and made it approachable for people that didn't have like zillions of hours to put into like whatever World of Warcraft or something like that.
Man, also Googling No Man's Sky. I found it.
Oh, No Man's Sky, yeah.
That game's wild.
Dude, there was so much controversy around that.
Really?
Like, yeah, because basically they made all these promises that when the game originally launched, it was just like nothing.
Man.
Like they were saying, it would be impossible to run across somebody else because,
and then you did. There's
like infinitesimal like planets that are generated, but people were like, what? How did I find somebody? And then these two people actually found each other on the same planet, but they couldn't see each other.
What?
So it was like one of these things that's
weird.
There was just a lot of stuff, but it was one of those things that, like, I think that's where we're headed. Yeah. But they were just before their time.
Jesse got really, really into that game, and he like, it kind of stresses me out to think about it because I'm like, I don't want a game that's just infinite. Yeah. Like that's too much, Bob. Like I want to know there are 40 planets to conquer and then you have finished the game. Like I don't what?
It just makes you anxious the whole time.
Well, it's space just makes me anxious too.
God. I know, right?
I think it does to a lot of people.
Yeah. Okay, so I lied. One last mention. Dota, specifically Dota 2. That is like the
what's Dota?
Whatever it's, oh my god, mobile online battle arena stuff. So MOBAs are like you either love them or you hate them kind of thing, and like there's been different scalings of like complexity for these. Like Dota 2 is like the top. Yeah, that it's like, if you're not reading patch notes weekly kind of thing, then you're going to fall behind kind of shit.
Jeez.
And so, but it was just one of these things that it's like, well, to put this into perspective, this is kind of where esports started. Yeah. And it got to the point to where the highest prize that anyone had seen regarding esports was paid out to a Dota person, $1.6 million.
Oh my gosh.
So like, obviously it's got, and pretty much Twitch and like YouTube and stuff they built their like platforms on this game kind of thing, or
it's
this
weird.
Type
I like
of game.
never hear Dota mentioned.
Oh, dude, it's
like does it stand for something?
It's almost
is that
like
the whole
clicky.
name?
I don't think it stands for anything.
That's so weird.
Yeah, but yeah, man, it's just absolutely insane.
Well, I also rarely hear PUBG mentioned, and I know it's huge.
Yeah,
so what do I know?
It's kind. I think a lot of the people that were playing PUBG kind of went over to either like Apex Legends or Fortnite and stuff like that. Okay. But it's still big, super big.
I don't know anything about Fortnite other than I hate all those damn dances.
Oh, dude, Fortnite is probably one of the most annoying fucking things.
If I could never see anyone floss again,
yeah,
that'd be great.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I have wrapped this.
Yeah.
How do you feel about doing a little guessing?
Let's do it. Let's do it. I like the guessing game.
So what I did is literally right before, here we go. Right before we decided to record, I hit Allie with hey, guess what I just pulled? I went on Mental Floss and I pulled the 10 top selling books of the decade. So we're gonna see just how well Allie can fare in regards to this. So to kind of explain to the listeners, these are books, they did not have to come out in this decade. Even though I'm looking at the list, it's a list of 10, top 10. Only 3 did not come out this decade.
Man.
So, without further ado, you want to toss a name out there?
Oh, I was totally thinking this was going to be 2019, and I thought I'd do okay. But the whole decade, I'm fucked. So
I think this was, these were the top seller. Oh no, this is top selling of the decade. Sorry, listeners, I'm confused.
No, I think you said it right. I think I was thinking it was 2019.
Oh, okay, got you. So,
I think you were right.
So they basically from 2010 to 2019. Yeah, these were the best selling books.
I'm gonna say Gone Girl.
Yes, Gone Girl made it on number 7 with 8.1 million copies.
Damn.
To give you a little hint, you actually have talked about some of these.
Fuck. That doesn't help. I talk about all the books. Maybe The Testaments?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
I bet it'd be on the top for the year.
So how about this? How about I start giving some small hints?
Jesse just replied about the video game. Okay, it's Infamous.
Oh yeah, Infamous is
that
super crazy.
Is that at all a description?
So no, I mean that's
kind of like a dark Spider-Man sort of.
Yeah, no, it really is. It really is because it's like super power kind of thing. Which I actually only played one of those, but it was kind of new for the open world genre stuff. So
I told him I feel like it had a ton of parkour.
Parkour. All right.
Okay, back to this. Sorry.
Yeah. So this one was a series of 3 books, and this was the first of it. The author, last name Larson.
Oh, Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
There you go.
Somebody picked those up after he died, and there's like 3 more really? Now.
Oh wow, I didn't know.
And
that
the author like solved a crime in his own personal life. What? And there's a book about it, and the cover looks like those.
Dude, that's insane.
It's called something like, you would think it's The Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest or something like that, like the way it's worded. It sounds really good.
The book was fucking great.
Yeah, but this is like a nonfiction about that author solving some fucking crime.
That's insane.
Yeah. I think a murder. Crazy. I want to think a murder. That's supposed to be really cool. Anyway, All
right, so do you think you can get these from author names?
Probably. That might be too easy. Okay. Did any of the Harry Potters come out this decade?
No.
Okay.
Or at least they're not on this list. And I don't... Oh, yeah, no, they 100% came out this decade, like the last 2, maybe.
Okay. And they're not on the list?
Mm-mm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is Cuckoo's Calling on there?
Mm-mm.
Okay, because that's hers under the pseudonym.
Ooh, I can give you movie hints.
Ooh, okay.
How about this? Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh, Hunger Games. Yeah.
So that hit number 4.
There's a prequel to that coming out in May.
Oh, really?
Yep. Also, Dave Chang has a memoir coming out in May. I just found out yesterday.
Good,
I'm so pumped.
man.
I love Dave Chang.
Yeah.
Okay.
So something that like, well, I don't want to ruin the big reveal.
Okay.
Because it just blew my fucking gourd.
Yeah.
All right. So, how about
is the Bible on there? Because that's a cop out. That's not fair.
No,
okay.
it's not on there. So what about Veronica Roth?
Oh, that was Divergent, right? Yeah.
6.6 million.
Yeah, that was a pretty big one. That was very Hunger Games started that whole thing. And Divergent was a good series.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it.
Let's see. What about John Green?
Oh yeah, The Fault in Our Stars.
There you go. 8 million copies.
He's got a lot of all his books end up being bestsellers.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. So this was, and honestly, I didn't see the movie or read the book.
Man, there's got to be some fantasy on here, and I'm not good at fantasy.
There's actually not. Like a lot of this stuff.
Is there any Sarah J. Maas?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Yeah. So this was about, I believe, some black workers I think they worked maybe like a plantation.
Was it The Help?
Yeah. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was guessing.
I saw the movie. I saw the movie. I didn't read the book. It was good.
It hit number 5 on here with 8.7 million.
Okay.
I was trying to see which one. Oh, another domestic thriller.
Girl on the Train?
There you go.
Really?
Number 6 with 8.2 million.
It was okay.
Okay, so we basically covered everything with the exception of the top 3.
Really?
All the same author.
Shit.
All the same series. So think super sexual.
Oh no!
All 3, dude.
Fuck that!
Literally. It was 1, 2, and 3 with 15.2 million copies, 10.4 million copies, and 9.3 million copies.
I'm so mad.
What's the book?
50 Shades.
Yep.
Man.
50 Shades of Grey was number 1, 50 Shades Darker
sucks.
2, and 50 Shades Freed number 3. That's kind of insane though, right?
Yeah, it's insane.
I mean, it just shows you that
that there's a lot of horny moms.
There's a lot of horny moms. That's exactly what it shows you.
God.
Oh, it's awesome.
Damn it. I hate that.
I know, it sucked.
There's no Stephen King on there?
No, I mean, I'm telling you.
Wow.
We are arriving in idiocracy. Everybody just wants to read about sex-hungry, whatever, executives, or I don't even know what the fuck he was in the book. So.
Oh, my God.
But speaking of sex-crazed.
Uh-oh.
I actually segued.
Yeah.
Disney characters say tourists inappropriately touch them.
Oh, no.
Yes. So, yeah, that was a hard fucking pivot.
Dude, I want to just go ahead and say, not to victim blame, but Gaston might be asking for it.
Yeah. I think the only thing he's going to do, though, is challenge you to a push-up contest or something. So, but anyways, so I pulled this from AP News. Just because I was scrolling through articles to potentially pull for the cast, and I was like, "What? Is this that big of a problem?" Apparently, the answer is yes. So Walt Disney World employees who portray Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, and Donald Duck each filed police reports this month, claiming they were inappropriately touched by tourists. So the woman that played Mickey Mouse.
A woman played Mickey?
Yeah.
Huh.
Kind of interesting, right?
Yeah.
But honestly, when
why would it matter?
Well, not only that, but I wonder if they have to speak or if they're allowed to speak.
I don't think Mickey usually speaks.
Yeah.
Mickey Mickey filled in on Wheel of Fortune the other night.
What?
Maybe for the week of Christmas.
What?
At least on the random night we watched it.
Spinning.
Nope, he was the Vanna White, and Vanna hosted. I guess Pat was off, and I was like, "This is dumb. I hate this."
I hate the new Wheel of Fortune. How they just push a button instead of spin the letter.
Vanna
I'm like, dude,
also
come
new.
on.
That's probably been 20 years or something, right?
I know. Sorry. But Daniel's complaint of the decade.
Vanna White is 90 years old, and she still looks like she's 20. And bless her.
Yeah.
Bless her plastic surgeon, probably.
Dude, I heard that she eats babies.
Sure.
That's the only way to keep the youth,
Of
man.
course, yeah.
She's up there with Queen Elizabeth.
Oh God!
Like, did we? I don't know if we covered it.
No, but you sent me it. We should get into that.
We were supposed to cover this.
I will throw that on our evergreen list.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Yeah. But basically, there were a lot of people are like, "How does she live this long?" And you'll have to tune back in to find out. So
I feel like maybe we just spoiled it, obviously. But
to a degree. But there's actually a story of a guy that went in and found like evidence, but it's anecdotal evidence. So it's weird. It's a really weird thing. But I'll dig it back up. So basically, the girl that was playing Mickey Mouse went to the hospital with neck injuries caused by a grandmother patting the character's head while the employee was wearing the costume.
Wow.
Yeah. It was just kind of interesting. And they basically were like, the family was contacted after and they were like, I mean, she was just showing our kid that Mickey wasn't, to be feared because like the 2-year-old or something like that was really terrified of Mickey. So she was like patting it on the head. But I feel like to like push the head down substantially, you'd have to like...
That's not a pat.
Right?
At that point.
That's like an open-handed slap.
Yeah.
Like... But anyway, they were like, oh, well, she barely touched him, all this jazz. She wouldn't, intentionally hurt someone. They were like, well, whatever. So the same day, there was a 36-year-old Disney employee who portrayed Minnie Mouse, and she posed for pictures with a man and his wife from Minnesota. Minnie Mouse gave the man a hug, and he groped her chest 3 times, according to the sheriff's incident report.
What the fuck?
I mean, like...
Be better.
Yeah, it's like, it's a fucking cartoon character.
God.
Like, you are a...
What are you expecting to feel through that costume?
Yeah. I don't know. It was
creepy.
Weird. The guy was basically like, oh, I'm not saying that it didn't happen, but I think she misidentified me as the person that did it, kind of thing, which...
Okay.
Yeah, it's an eye roller for sure.
Yeah.
The last one was like kind of kooky.
Yeah.
Well, all of this has been kooky because we're talking about fucking Disney characters getting groped.
Yeah, there's that.
But yeah, there's that. But so anyway, a woman in her 60s asked if she could kiss Donald Duck. The incident report said the character agreed. And the situation escalated as the 18-year-old employee playing the character said the woman began touching and grabbing the character's arms, chest, belly, and face. The employee moved toward another Disney employee for help, but the woman followed her, holding on, and then, quote, frantically put her hands inside the character's costume, touching her chest, the incident report said. Oh. So the woman's family shouted for her to stop, and the attendant led the employee to the break room. She decided to not press charges because she basically said, I think the woman was suffering from dementia. But I was like, I mean, that's just kind of kooky, right?
Sometimes I think old people take advantage of thinking they can get away with shit because they're old.
I would not put that past somebody, especially in this fucking day and age, man. It's kind of kooky.
I mean, I'll absolutely do that a little bit when I get older. Like,
I mean, I'll probably act like I don't hear people. And shit like that.
Oh yeah.
I'll openly ignore people.
Yeah.
But yeah, just kind of a weird, I don't know, side note for that. But do you have anything else?
Man, I've got the memes of the decade.
Oh fuck yeah! Let's wrap with that. That's perfect.
This was a BuzzFeed news list, and it's 100. I'm not gonna read them all, but moth memes.
Oh yeah,
I loved the moth
the
memes.
Moth memes were bomb.
Doggos was on this list, like
really?
the calling them doggos and puppers, and I feel like that had a lot of spinoffs. Friendos,
yeah, right.
And like the fake censoring of non-swear words cracks me up. Like my buddy with the Kofifi vanity plate has, I think, 2 stickers on his car, and one of them says heck, but the E is an asterisk.
Dude, that is amazing. My God.
In July of 2010, this guy named Antoine Dodson appeared on a local news segment in Alabama.
Uh-huh.
You maybe remember he was talking about an intruder trying to assault his sister. He's climbing in your windows. He's snatching your people up. Y'all need to hide your kids, hide your wives.
Yeah.
That got auto-tuned and turned into a song that went viral and ended up on the Billboard Top 100. What the fuck?
That is fucking insane, dude.
I love viral nonsense.
Yeah.
The Ice Bucket Challenge came in at 81 on the list. I didn't realize how much money it raised. This said it raised more than $100 million in a month for ALS research.
Yeah.
And we lost a friend to ALS, and it was like,
Really?
it was devastating. Like, it was so fast. He went from being super healthy and like 50 to gone in, I don't know, 8 months. Like,
yeah, dude,
it was
ALS.
Wild, man. It was terrible.
Yeah.
So Ice Bucket Challenge like got on my nerves, but like looking back on it, that's so much money and that's great.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm gonna say this one, and you're not gonna say anything in reply, and we're gonna move along.
Okay.
But in 2013, we were asked, "What does the fox say?" And that's it. You're not allowed to. Nope. Nothing. That's it.
Okay.
Double Rainbow All the Way was 2010.
Oh my god.
The Shruggy. Do you know this? Do you know the Shruggy?
I don't think so.
I have a shortcut on my iPhone for this. So that when I type a certain thing, it'll make it do it. Uh-huh. It's just like made out of characters.
Oh, I
the
know.
Shrug guy.
100% know now.
I love the Shruggy. I still use it all the time.
It's like an ASCII character or something, right?
Number 66 on the list was Call Me Maybe.
Oh, Jesus.
Number 59 was Gangnam Style.
Real quick about the Call Me Maybe. Didn't she was the one that had the album that's supposed to be really fucking good this year.
Yeah, that's
right?
Carly Rae Jepsen.
Carly Rae Jepsen.
I need to check that album out.
Yeah,
because it's supposed to be really good. Like I heard a lot of legit people saying that album was good.
Yeah, which is crazy. But
I know. 59 was Gangnam Style, which just fucking blew up. Drill on Twitter. It's just at DRIL. He's just like a shit poster, but he never breaks character. He is an enigma. He is amazing. You need to follow Everyone needs to follow Drill. And you've absolutely D-R-I-L. Seen his stuff before. Yeah, DRIL. He's the one that had that tweet that was like, "Here's my monthly budget. Please help me. My family's starving." Do you remember that one? No. And it was like so much on food, so much on like housing, so much on a car payment, $4,000 on candles. And you're like, wait, what?
Whoa, what?
Yeah, you've recognized some of his stuff.
Oh yeah.
Drake and Hotline Bling, the 4-panel meme where Drake is like shunning the first thing and then smiling at the second thing. I love that meme.
That was great.
Spider-Man pointing at Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Gender reveals. Fuck a gender reveal.
Dude, I can't remember.
Can we leave those in the past?
Oh, yeah, no
Hate
shit.
It.
There was one that like somebody we covered it. The gender reveal that they basically made a homemade pipe bomb by accident.
And it killed the grandma?
It killed the grandmother. Gender reveal is definitely
one started a forest fire that burnt down like tens of thousands of acres.
And like was that in Australia?
I think it was in the States.
Or maybe it was
Australia's burning now.
Oh, well.
There's that.
Australia's on fire.
Yeah, way on fire. 36 was Ted Cruz being the Zodiac Killer, which is near and dear to my heart.
Yeah.
And then he posted a tweet about it, or Halloween, 3 years after it was a thing, which seems very on brand for him, being way late to a party. We're not laughing with you, motherfucker. The confused math lady, which I've also seen as confused Zach Galifianakis that's like doing the math.
That it has the overlay of math. Yeah.
Old Town Road. The American Chopper guys yelling back and forth at each other. I love that one. The Arthur Fist. You know the cartoon character Arthur? The like fist of him like...
Oh, yeah.
He's like clenching his fist.
Yeah.
30 is Florida Man.
God, dude. Which we kind of covered the whole thing on why the Florida Man stuff is so big.
Like
the Sunshine Law.
The laws there are a little more. I think it's that, and also that Florida people are crazy.
Well, yeah, I'm not gonna take that argument by any stretch.
I mean, Florida's wild.
Florida is a fucking wild place.
Yeah.
So.
Harambe. And dicks out for Harambe. Right above Harambe was Damn Daniel, and I wish I had known you when that was big because I would have driven you bonkers with that.
Don't worry, everybody.
I'm sure they did. Tide Pods were on here.
Jeez.
The blinking white guy. You know the guy.
Funny story.
Yeah.
I actually keep up with the video game thing. Oh my god!
What?
It's basically these guys. It's a group of guys that do video game reviews and like live streaming and video game news. By the name of Giant Bomb.
Okay.
And this was actually a Giant Bomb. His name's
the
Scanlon,
blinking white guy,
Drew Scanlon. Yeah, and I actually saw this live and then saw the meme being made.
Oh my god.
It was fucking weird.
I love that guy. I use him all the time for everything.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh yeah.
Shrek was just a whole ass thing.
Yeah.
16 on this list was Real Housewives, which includes the blonde lady yelling at the upset white cat. His name is Smudge, and I love him.
That's amazing.
The distracted boyfriend meme.
Love
that one. Doge.
yeah.
I love Doge. I
yeah.
wish Doge would come back. I guess Doge sort of evolved into Doggo, kind of, I guess. Okay, and now we're in the top 10. I'm just going to actually say the top 10.
Yeah.
Number 10 is Kermit drinking the tea and Evil Kermit. Like you talking to yourself and then like shrouded Kermit.
Yeah.
Number 9 is reaction gifs, which, oh yeah. Number 8 is Guy Fieri. Guy Fieri.
Guy Fieri. And dude, the so it's actually GIF, supposedly.
It's not.
But GIF is like...
This is a hill I'll die on.
Well, GIF is just... It's so unpleasing to my ears. Or displeasing to my ears that I don't mind being wrong just because it sounds terrible. Like...
I really feel like anyone that really, really cares... is an idiot. Not that you like you don't really care. But people that like overhear someone having a conversation at a bar and they're like, actually, it's pronounced. I'm like, actually, sit down.
Yeah, actually, it doesn't fucking
adjust
matter.
your fedora. Go back to mom's basement. I do not care.
But the GIF of or GIF, sorry. God. Anyway, the GIF of Guy Fieri dumping Perrier water on his tongue, and he's going,
"Oh no!"
Dude, and it's just zoomed in. It is fucking incredible.
Yes. Yes.
Anyway, sorry.
Guy Fieri also, I think he knows that everyone makes fun of him.
Yeah.
And I think he's a good dude and he doesn't care, man.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right, man.
Number 7 was The Dress, whether it was black and blue or white and gold.
Oh my God.
Ugh. Number 6 was the This Is Fine dog with like the kitchen burning around him.
Your husband has this shirt, doesn't he?
He has a shirt of Monty Python and the dude with both his arms cut off and he says scratch. Hey, well, he says "'Tis fine."
Oh, "'tis fine."
We get so many comments on that from like random strangers out places. People will be like, "Oh my god, your shirt." Number 5 is Smash Mouth's All Star, which dude, I love that that's such a good song. Like, it's timeless.
Oh, dude, it is. And
it's
like,
so good.
It's so funny how many times a phrase will be put and you read it in the fucking, like, with the music of somebody once told me. Yeah. Literally, it's just like, oh my God.
Number 4 is On Fleek.
I never understood this.
There's apparently a whole story about racism and black people not getting credited with their creations and stuff. Like there was a deep dive to be done on Fleek, and I'm not getting into all that. That's a whole lot. But like, I was also like getting more into filling in my brows when On Fleek was going on. Yeah, and I'm like, I'm not making this a thing. I am not referring to my brows as On Fleek ever. Absolutely not. I hate it. Awesome. Number 3 is Pepe the Jesus, Pepe the Frog, which I disagree with. I feel like he was too weird internet for this to be this high up on this list.
He
was very
like
4chan.
And that's what I was going to say.
He was very,
really
like,
4chan.
that's not mainstream. Like, that's not like Twitter meme stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Number 2 is Crying Michael Jordan, which I don't get why he's this high on the list.
I would have put a lot of this stuff higher up.
Yeah, I would have put a lot. Yeah. But, and number 1, which I will allow, is SpongeBob.
Dude, I've seen more fucking SpongeBob, and
There's so many funny ones.
I'm assuming this is SpongeBob including all.
It's
characters.
Including all the characters,
Okay,
so it's Mr. Krabs freaking out, I mean, there's SpongeBob mocking people, where people do like the toggle caps, and the I'm gonna head out SpongeBob.
I love the toggle caps.
I do too.
It's so great.
And people say it's ableist, and I'm like, I don't even get where you're coming from with this argument.
Oh my god.
I can't even wrap my head around what they're trying to say.
I would almost think that it would be like ageist, that it's like your grandma going,
right? Yeah.
But I don't know, maybe.
I do really love the I'm gonna head out SpongeBob. Like, I use that so much.
Oh my god.
Oh shit.
Amazing.
Man, there are so many fucking lists.
Yeah. No, I feel like I'm going cross-eyed looking
Dude,
at
I
lists.
tried to make a crime one.
Yeah.
And it was so dark.
Really?
Like, I was looking at this list and I was like, okay, well, like, yeah, there's a lot of awful school shootings. Sure, there's Sandy Hook and there's Parkland, and those are both just real bad.
Yeah.
And then there's the Vegas massacre, and there's the Boston Marathon bombings, and, like, those are bad. Let's just keep scrolling. Okay, well, there's the whole Black Lives Matter movement, which is not as sad, except that there were a lot of black people killed by cops who shouldn't have been. Okay, that's real bad. Yeah. Okay, well, there's the Me Too movement. Whew, that's pretty dark, too. And I just kept scrolling. I was like, this is bad. I don't want to cover any of it.
It's just like a heavy like topic after heavy topic. And I honestly, well, even though
I like crime, but it's still dark, dude.
Tether Radio sometimes goes to dark places, but normally we try to bring a little levity to the situation.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, dude.
Yeah, man.
My God. Well, I believe I'm glancing at the time, and I believe we have arrived.
Perfect.
Man, that was phenomenal.
This is a good show.
Yeah.
I love lists, though.
Yeah, I know.
I live for lists.
I'm a complete and utter list whore, so. Yeah. But yeah, man, just a lot of shit going on in the 2010s, and let's just hope the 2020s are better.
I do want to say, because this episode will come out on the 1st.
Yes.
So, Happy New Year. Fuck 2019. I think I'm gonna start bringing a thing called the Cancel Corner to the podcast,
dude.
And I think I'm starting it with this week and saying 2019 is fucking canceled.
It's canceled, man. Let's move on to bigger and better 2020.
Oh yeah,
because I think that 2020 will be a good year.
But man, we cancel stuff all the time, so I'm gonna try to cover some canceled shit.
I know. Dude, honestly, we could do an entire fucking episode on cancel culture.
Oh, we so could.
Like,
yeah,
holy shit.
But I just mean like weekly, we can cancel something.
Oh yeah, I'm completely down.
I love it.
Completely down. All right, well, rock and roll. I believe that wraps up episode 81 of the Tether Radio podcast. Yeah, so what did you guys think? You know, let us know what you're interested in. Hell, how about New Year's resolutions? Maybe we can even read some or something on the next show or something. Give us some good ideas. We'll probably be going back to the more normal
news type stuff
unless we get requests from people, and then we will happily oblige.
Oh yeah, my friend Nicole wanted us to do weird lottery winners, like bad lottery winners. I'm gonna try to dive into that for next week.
Okay,
I think that'll be cool.
Rock and roll. We'll have a little weird lottery winners segment. So but yeah, so if you have anything that you want to give us feedback or just let us say hi or whatever, hit us up at tetherradio@gmail.com. That is TETHERRADIO@gmail.com. We are on Jack Dorsey's Twitter sphere at tether_radio. Have you seen that guy lately? Like,
yeah, he looks kind of wilderness man.
Yeah, I can't figure out like what he's going for, but I think he's missing the mark.
I think he just doesn't care, but also like, you're fucking loaded. Get some beard oil.
Yeah, here.
Get a trim.
Yeah. We are also on Instagram at Tether_radio. We're on Facebook, Tether Radio, one word. And we also have the Facebook group, Tether Radio After Dark. Nikki, thank you. You are an extremely active member. I'm going to give you a shout out pretty much every show until some other people try to dethrone you as the queen of Tether Radio After Dark. So, but yeah. So we'll something else that Allie and I are going to start doing is we normally have a decent bit of like overflow.
Yeah. So we're gonna start like, and also I think I might start posting like long reads that like. Okay. Could be a deep dive, but we're just not going to get into it.
Yeah.
Like just sharing more stuff on the Facebook page.
Yeah, exactly. So keep an eye out. Definitely join the group. Answer the few questions that we have to get into the group. It's not like we vet you, so
we just got to keep out all those bots.
I know, exactly. But yeah. So this has been Tether Radio episode 81. I'm Daniel.
I'm Allie.
And we thank you for joining us for approximately an hour and a half of your time. So, yeah, man, we hope you guys have a fantastic new year. And thanks for joining us. See you next week, friendos.
Bye.